Well, that's it for this evening. I hope you enjoyed the show. Hope you'll come back often. We really had a wide diversity of people tonight, and that's what modeling is all about. And that's what trying to get people to come on the show and to share what they're doing is all about. So I hope you enjoyed it. Again, I hope you'll go to our website and subscribe so that you can join us on Zoom show and get the login links. Or if you're interested in going to the YouTube, I hope you'll subscribe to our YouTube channel, New Trucks Modeling, and you'll get notices ahead of time of all of our future shows. So thank you so much again for being here this night. And now we will turn to Clark Kooning, MMR, for the after show, a very special part of our show tonight. Clark, welcome.
Well, thanks, Jim. Woohoo! It is the after show. That was a lot of information tonight in our show. So thank you to all those who participated. Let's see. Now, we usually start off with people who are new to the show and welcome them to jump in. I don't know if I see any. Oh, Dave, you're fairly new. I think Dave Durant's. And if I apologize if I mucked up that last name. Do you want to introduce yourself, Dave?
Sure, I'll do it again. This is my third time dropping in. David Durrance. I live in Atlanta. I'm not in scale. The SP kind of post World War I.
Okay. I may have forgotten that you had already been here a couple of times, but thank you.
It's my first time showing my face. So.
Oh, well, maybe that's it. You have an unforgettable face. Hey, don't forget the big train show in Atlanta this weekend.
That's right. I'm volunteering for 4 shifts.
Oh, well, good. Good. So Hank has got you working then.
Yeah.
All right. That's great. Thank you.
Okay,
we have to ask the proverbial question. Ted Becker, what's for dinner?
Food.
Thank you. You signed off before I got to ask you last week. It was kind of funny because you know what kind of ribbing I took, and not with sauce either.
Well, you probably deserved it.
Oh, thanks. So, all righty.
There are probably only 2 or 3 people on there who really care about what I'm going to have for supper.
I know, but it's more of a tradition now. Actually, I don't even care anymore.
Yeah, I know when you were absent, there were a couple of people who filled in for you and asked the question.
Well, see, it's just it's a fun, trivial tradition that we have to keep going on New Tracks. So
yeah.
All right.
Did Seth leave?
Yep, he's gone.
Oh, okay. Yeah, well, I'm going to be in touch with him. I may have found a way to market some of my Arduino stuff.
Cool.
Including, I don't know if Jim is listening or not. I had to back out of something I was doing for Jim for the show because earlier this week I had one of my hard drives on my computer crashed, and I lost all my data for about the last 18 months. Anyhow, if I revive that particular project, we may be able to. I may talk to Seth about having their company put together a little kit. So anyhow, that really should be private conversation between me and Jim. So
yep, he's a neat guy, Seth. I've known Seth a long time through the NMRA and other events, and he has some neat stuff. The little flag man for DCC guys is just great.
That's cool.
You can test out your you don't have to have the little flag man. You put them out on the track and you got power.
You just set it on the track. Yeah.
Well,
I had not put 2 and 2 together between the connection between MRCS and this guy on on Arduini. I follow that Arduini IO group. So
Right.
now that I see that connection, that's going to help me a lot.
Yeah. He's got a
Good
great
show tonight. Boy, we had, there were 3 blockbuster topics.
okay.
I mean, compared to, I don't know, compared to listening to a description of a hobby shop, which is cool,
yeah.
on the other side of the country that I'll never go to.
Yeah.
The things that were covered tonight were a lot more useful. So,
And Martin's on. Martin, I have been doing casting as well, but most of the time I use the smooth on, and you don't have to do any measuring. It's just by volume, so you can eye it.
Yeah, you eyeball it.
But it like you say in your presentation, it's all about sort of also what you can get in materials. So
It's what you can get and it's what you like.
that's right. Absolutely.
You know, there is no absolute on any of that stuff. It's
No.
what works for you. I mean,
Yeah.
I stumbled around for 4 or 5 years before I settled down on what I'm using now. And I like it.
But even isn't that even model railroading in general? It's what works for you,
Well,
So,
yeah, but I fortunately found out what I liked a lot faster.
So when Paul Thompson was up in the fall, we did I was showing him some castings, and we made some molds, and then we were using Pat Rivard's sort of technique that he still has to really do a clinic on, unless I missed one, on using the pigments and stuff to paint them. And Paul was quite amazed at how fast that the resins actually solidify.
Yeah, you blink and if it's smooth on, you blink and it's done.
Yeah, well, I get the little slower one. I do get the slower one, but yeah.
Yeah, okay, you blink 3 times.
Yeah.
I mean,
So yeah.
and the thing is, if you do that, and you can crank out a lot of copies real fast when
You can. And now there was a thing in the chat about, copying commercial parts, which I really agree with.
I didn't even address that. I probably should have.
Yeah. But I won't, if you copy a commercial part and aren't selling it, you've really paid the permission to use it. But you cannot sell it. And that's something that has to be really put out there, because that is not fair to manufacturers who do spend a lot of time to make a master.
Absolutely right.
Yep.
Yeah, that was me. This is Jeff Jordan.
Yep.
Many years ago in my past, I was actually owned a minority interest in a hobby shop. And one of the things that griped us is people who would come in and buy one copy or one piece from, Grantline or something like that, and buy the casting material. And you knew they were going to go home and crank off a whole bunch of Grantline parts. And it wasn't fair to the store, and it wasn't fair to Grantline.
Yeah. Well, at a certain point too, it's just not economical to do it either.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't waste my time copying Grantline parts. I mean,
No, or you're much better to just buy them, and you get a faster and better copy, really.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
It's sort of a waste of time.
The only time I've used any kind of casting has been for a broken part in a kit that I, rather than write to the company and say, can you send me another part because I broke this one? Sometimes it's just easier to cast the one part from another part that you are using to make up for the one that's broken.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm working on restoring a car which was missing one of the hatches. Had the other one though. Okay, I'm looking at it. That's like, where's the Dixie cup? That's just the right size to glue in the bottom of the Dixie cup.
Exactly.
And so I put the two copies back on the car because I know they match.
Yes. Yeah.
And once they got paint on them, you can't tell what they are anyhow.
Yeah.
The other thing I forgot to mention was the number of copies you can get out of a mold. And that varies a little bit, but I usually can get somewhere between 50 and 60 copies out of a mold before it really starts to go bad. The mold gets bad. And you can visibly see the RTV change color, texture, composition a little bit at the surface, and it gets stiff and unflexible, and the end is near.
That sounds like a lot of old modelers.
Yes,
Stiff
it
and
does.
unflexible in the end.
There's a certain amount of parallelism there.
And
you
Martin,
guys finding-
have you found a difference between the softer RTVs versus the more rigid RTVs?
Yeah. You mean on Lifetime?
Yeah, Lifetime, yeah.
Not really.
I understand the difference in, the rigidity of the mold and
Right, right.
demolding and things like that, but I just wondered about the life of the mold.
Not really. I've probably gotten a good 60, 70 of those trolley ends out of one mold.
So I
How
have,
lo- how long? Excuse me
I've
for
used some
butting in
really
here,
soft
Ted,
stuff.
but,
Pardon?
how long do you guys normally allow your molds to sit on the shelf before you see them going bad? If you only use them like and get, say, 5 or 10, parts out of it, and then you stick it on a shelf, what's the shelf life been for you guys on just
I
the
got
mold?
some that are over 20 years old.
Yeah, I haven't seen them go bad.
No.
Okay, thanks.
I don't know, maybe that has something to do with the storage environment. They're in a nice, mine are sorted into several cardboard boxes. They're up on a shelf, and it's extremely dry in my shop. So,
Away from sunlight.
yeah, well, yeah,
Yeah.
they're in the basement. They're nice and pale like me.
So I was told that exposure to organic materials, if there's anything organic that's sitting in it, it's going to get soft. The way you know that is people using the casting media to make rock molds using natural rock. If you don't get it really cleaned out of any organic debris, it's not going to last long at all.
Interesting.
Hmm.
I was thinking when you said organic materials, I was thinking like turpentine. But solvents and stuff, and I mean, it's just another type of polymer. It's going to dissolve in stuff. It will react with stuff. It will go bad.
Yeah.
I was just wondering if people found that between manufacturers, if it was, 5 years or 7 years, but
Well,
20 years that's a whole different story. That's about how long most of my molds are probably
I've
sitting
got-
on the shelf currently.
I've got some retaining wall molds that I bought from an estate. And they're an easy 20 years old. They work just fine. I mean, and I use the same molds. You can use resin or hydrocal in them.
Yeah.
The mold doesn't care.
I've even used hot glue.
Theoretically, I could use Cerobend.
Yep.
Not
On
that-
some of them.
in the blue molds that I use,
Yes.
they take Cerobend.
Yep.
The only thing is, I really, really don't want to use Cerobend, because if you know what's in it, no, you do not want to use it.
No.
It's not, if you think resin is bad for your health, a coffee pot full of Cerobend is really bad for it. I mean, it's mainly lead and some bismuth, but the bad stuff in it is the cadmium.
Right.
And that's, yeah, I should get rid of the Cerobend I have. I probably have 50 pounds of it laying around somewhere.
So you don't paint it with a cad yellow then too?
Yeah, if you can find cad yellow. Yeah, nope.
Neat. All righty. Does anybody have any other questions for Martin on the molds that we got?
Hey, Martin, it's Pat Rivard here.
Yes, sir.
Those rubber molds, I found that some of them, the more flexible they are, they tend to crack over time, flexing them too much.
That
Do you have
will-
that problem?
That's usually what the indication when they're going bad on me, but that takes time. It takes a lot of molds too.
Yeah, these are
Well,
about 15 years old.
Oh, well, I don't know about, I don't think I have any quite that old, but the one I just tossed in the can a couple of months ago, that was for passenger car seats.
Okay.
But I've probably made 200 passenger car seats.
Yeah,
I mean,
they were used a lot.
That mold, yeah, it got hard use, and that has some undercuts in it, some wraparound pieces, and
Yeah.
it's a little tricky. I mean, it's hardware on some parts, and the mold started tearing.
Yeah.
I think that's one of the factors is the undercuts and the sharpness of the undercuts on molds or on
Yeah.
the original pieces, you know.
Yeah, I try to minimize those if I can.
Yeah.
But, you know,
Not easy sometimes.
Well, sometimes you need the detail, right? But then,
sometimes you want it.
yeah.
sometimes you gotta have it.
So sometimes how I compensate for that is to make the actual mold a little thicker.
Yeah, you can cheat into it and make it
Yeah.
much thicker.
Yeah.
I found some of the lines awful fine that you can't make it any thicker. It's just,
Well, yes.
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
That, how can I say it? That relief that's
Yeah.
in the original, you can't do anything with that.
No.
So after a while, that probably is going to tear.
Yeah.
But that's also where I agree with you. I don't use a lot of release, but on the real sharp pieces where I have a real thin piece, I will put a little.
It may help.
Yeah, I put a little mold release in there. But I think
Yeah.
your point. But I think your point, Martin, is making sure that there are, if it's not plastic, that they're sealed, so
Oh,
that little bit of resin doesn't get into those little pores.
Yeah, I've had some styrene masters handed to me, and I take one look at it, it's like, that's not going to work.
Yeah. Yeah.
You've got something here where the RTV is going to get inside your master.
Yeah. Especially at like joints, you know, where they've got 3 or 4 pieces of styrene, and at the joint, it's not perfectly square.
Yeah, you got a little crevice.
Yeah, and you know it's going to get in there, and it's going to be a problem.
Yeah, and getting the master out of the mold, out of the RTV, could be an adventure right there.
Yeah. Yeah,
Thank
I
you.
hear you.
Yeah, it all works.
If you can't get the master out, you're not going to get the parts out later.
Yeah.
Yep.
No.
Yeah, and
They'll break off first.
Yeah, well, there's nothing like losing a master to brighten your day.
Especially if it's something that you've worked on, you know.
Yeah, you spend 3 days making it, and it turns out it wasn't secured to the bottom of the mold box, and it floated up inside the RTV. That brightens your day real good.
Ask us how we know, eh, Martin?
Oh, yeah, it just sharpens your day up so nicely. It improves your vocabulary, though.
Yeah.
The colorfulness of it goes up a log or two.
Yes. Yeah.
But
Makes great junk piles on your layout.
yeah, well, if you can find it inside the RTV. The thing is, generally I have to dig it out anyhow, because the 3 other things in the mold I do want to keep.
That's right.
You can't just throw the whole mold away. The other three parts of the mold work fine.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is why a number 11 scalpel becomes very useful. You become a surgeon.
Thank you, doctor.
Well, technically, I am entitled to use the title, but I don't. I'm not a medical doctor.
Yeah. Any other questions, comments here?
Well, there was a question on YouTube. I don't think they're there anymore. During your presentation, Martin. They wanted to know if your trolley parts are still available.
Could be. I mean, they could just find me and send me an email. I mean, I have the molds.
Yeah, well, the thing is, they're probably not watching by now, but
Yeah,
Well,
no,
they might
They
watch
might
it on
catch up
YouTube
later.
later. Yeah.
yeah.
you know,
Yeah, matter of fact, that's kind of why I'm asking. I'm gonna cut off the recording on that.
no, I mean, you can email me and, I mean, I got the molds. I mean, I've got a couple of shoe boxes full of parts just sitting around. You know,
Excuse me.
like I said, that little trolley was fun. I mean, I sold a lot of those kits real fast
Mm.
because, you know, bang, you have, what did I sell them for? $40 or something? It was dirt cheap.
Yeah, I got a question about duplicating commercial parts. I've got several old Walthers passenger car kits, NHO, the other ones with the cast metal ends.
Yeah.
I'm missing a couple of different ends.
Wow.
Do you see any particular problem using one of those as a master?
For your personal use? No.
For my personal use, just to make one or two.
For your personal use, I don't see a problem at all. And
Anything-
I don't even know if those are you're ever gonna see the light of day of those again.
No, I doubt it.
Now the O scale ones are available. Scale City Designs who got those through Keel Line, who got them from Walthers. So the O scale stuff, the O scale Walthers white metal castings, they're available in pewter.
It doesn't help me much. A little
I
bit
know.
big.
I know, but you can make your own. Yeah, you could do that.
Oh yeah, for that. I don't
Yourself?
think that's an issue. No.
Yeah.
I think it's worth changing scales for, though.
There you go.
No, there's no such thing as changing.
Oh man, here we go. Those old scale guys, you got to watch out for them.
Oh, yeah. Bad guys.
You know, as any old scale guy will tell you, the king of scale.
Religion,
King of
politics, and which is the best scale?
That's right.
Yeah, off limit topics.
The one true scale.
Oh, here we go. I'm gonna say thank you to all who've been watching on YouTube and on the live stream. We're going to cut off the live stream momentarily, and hopefully you'll maybe join us on the live show by signing up on the Facebook page, and Jim will send you, or the group guys will send you a link so you can join in the live show. So that's it for tonight, and hope you have a great night and enjoy your modeling for the next week.